All right, all of you, a very good evening and welcome to the session. Over the next many months, I will be conducting a lot of short sessions covering various important areas. So I really hope that you would make it a point to join me during these sessions because of two reasons. One, the easy part is over. Now we are going to the tougher part. When I say the easy part is over, I am talking about the application process. When I say the tougher part, I'm now talking about the visa process. There are many rules and these rules have been changing quite fluidly. We need to be not just be aware of the rules, we also need to know how to use this to our advantage. Now, I'm going to be spending probably half an hour talking about one very important element of what is known as I20. Give me a minute. I'm sorry, I have a YouTube parallelly being done. Okay, so as I said, this session is for initiating something very important. But before I do so, there are a couple of points I would like to highlight. Number one, I have always believed in early application. Majority of you people who probably have already got offers are those who did run along with me for early application. And what we are fighting for right now is early visa. So please don't get perturbed if A, you have already applied and you have not got any admit so far. B, you have not applied as yet. Be aware of the fact that even in the US, most of the colleges are open for taking the application for probably by at least till the middle of April. Right now, what we are going to fight for is the visa date somewhere around the May end or June beginning. Your classes will start only in September, which basically means we have another 3 months to fight. So the first very important learning I'm sharing with you is don't get perturbed. My role as your mentor is to push you, but at the same time, your thing is to understand the fact that you don't need to get perturbed if you are somewhere not among the early converters when it comes to getting the admission. So the first very important rule, once again, we are early, but we would like to take advantage of this earliness. Second very important rule, rules are changing. And one rule I want you to remember is our biggest challenge is not getting a good admission. Our biggest challenge is getting the visa. This is where you should be aware of the new 352 rule. Till before COVID, if it so happened that you are not getting a visa, that is your visa was rejected, you could book another slot after 24 hours. If the second time also visa is rejected, you could go for the third time. If the third time it's rejected, you could go for the fourth time. Every time you're spending money, but you will still be spending because you want the visa. But the beauty was you had a provision whereby you could actually attend multiple visa interviews. The current rule, unstated but being practiced, is that if your visa is rejected, you cannot book a visa slot for the next 352 days. The second very important thing that you need to understand is that the visa rejection rate has skyrocketed. Fall 23, the visa scenario was fantastic. Spring 24 was bad. Quite a few visa rejection rates, visa rejections happening. And the second important element was that visa slots were also not available. So the second very important rule I need you to go on reiterating and repeating is that our biggest battle is not admission. Our biggest battle is the visa. This rule becomes all the more important for people who have not got any offers as yet. Because when the wait becomes long, you get perturbed. So what happens is you rush to apply for more colleges. Please don't do that. One of the first and the foremost rule I keep talking about is be very conscious of how many colleges you are applying to. The reason is we should not be disclosing to the visa officer of our desperation to go to the US. It's the easiest way to get the visa rejected. Please don't ever listen to people who say that visa officers will not know how many colleges you have applied to. Anything that happens or is linked with the US, they have access to it. We can't take a chance because visa rejection is a very painful point. Ask people whose visas have been rejected how their lives have been derailed, because they have to then suddenly look for another country or end up with a bigger gap with no guarantee if 1 year from now, 352 days from now, the visa will be approved again. And let's also not forget the fact that the fall 24 has one very important significance. The reason why the competition in fall 24 has further gone up is because people are now assuming the fact that or predicting the fact that President Trump might become President Trump again. And in case he does become, then the visa process would become a little more cumbersome. So people want to enter the US before President Trump, if at all he gets re-elected, becomes a president again. So I need you people to focus on visa. And one of the very important elements which I would like you to focus on is your English, because if you are able to exhibit good English in front of a visa authority, your chances of getting a visa actually improves tremendously. It's not going to be a simple process because it's not just the language, it's also the confidence. Believe me, when you're standing in the queue, there are going to be many people standing in front of you whose visas probably are going to be rejected. They are going to turn and walk out dejected. Quite a few people crying. And when you see such a scenario, you start assuming the worst. It's during that time you need to be confident. Your mind is under pressure, but your tongue still should do that speaking. That is the reason I want you people to understand English should become your first language, where you can express yourself in English without exerting too much pressure on your mind. What is that we are going to be doing? I'll be taking multiple sessions along the way, talking about funding, talking about visa interview, helping you understand the experiences as our students have their visas. I'll be sharing with you their experiences. I'll also be helping you guys with a mock visa interview so that you're well prepared. Bottom line, you are our responsibility, but I need you people to be professional enough. Bottom line is this: when you go for your visa interview is not going to be for more than 2 minutes, and the 2 minutes has to be magical. All the documents they expect us to carry, we need to have it. Our story should match, and whatever we speak there should be something that we want to express. It cannot be ad hoc, it cannot be unpracticed, because even a small slip of tongue can imply something wrong and get your visa rejected, and that's not what we want. So having given you this background, let me now talk about why we are having this session today. Before I do so, I see quite a few people have joined a bit late, so let me reiterate the first 2 points which I said. Number one, please don't get perturbed. We are late. We are not late. What we are fighting for right now is for early visa cycle. I am pushing my students who have at least one job offer, one admission offer for early cycle. That is, we are talking about the May 2024 visa dates. You will be basically required to report to the US by the end of August. So we have 3 more months. So in case you have not got any result or you have still not applied, don't get perturbed. We have time. Remember, most of the colleges have deadlines of somewhere in the middle of April. So number one, don't get perturbed, but be informed. That is the reason why we have invited you to participate in this session anyway. The second very important thing is, the biggest fight is not an admission fight. Let me assure you, you will get an admit, because we are very careful in how we spread your risk. Yes, it's quite possible you did not get the dream college of yours. Probably you got the next. Maybe you did not get the next, you got the next best. Maybe you got the safest college that we had thought, but I'm sure each one of you will get a decent admit. The battle was never on admission. The battle is in visa. Visa rejection rates have gone up. US does not want you. For that matter, no country wants us. And that is something that is getting apparent by the way the visa rules are being changed. So you should be aware of various rules. So the rule number 3 is make it a point to attend these sessions quite regularly, so that not just are you abreast of the rules that are changing day in and day out, you are also aware of how to take advantage of that. All right, so where do we stand? For all of you who have at least one admit, we need to now start acting. Why am I taking a session in the first week of February? Why is that I did not plan for in January? There's a rule. The rule is, in US, colleges can start issuing their I20s only 6 months before the early start date of a program. That means if a program were to start on the 1st of September, colleges cannot offer I20 before 1st of March. Now, there are going to be quite a few colleges which are going to start somewhere around 18th of August. 6 months basically means 18th of February. And that is the reason why we are in the first week of February, so that if you do have an admit, we are ready to push the college to issue the I20 by the earliest they can. That is 6 months before the start of the program. You will need at least 10 days to keep all the documents which are necessary for you to get the I20. So in this session, I'm going to be talking about what is that you need to do and how is it that we are going to get the I20. Next week, I will talk about what to do post getting the I20. Now, what is this I20? I20 is the most important document that you should hold. I20 is a document which is required for us to raise loan. I20 is a document, more importantly, for us to book a visa slot. So we need to get the I20 from the college. Now there are 2 scenarios that could have happened. Scenario number 1, certain colleges during the admission time demand for your financial statement. Now, these are financial statements to prove the fact that you have sufficient funds to cover both your living and your academic expenditure for 1 year. This document is demanded by these colleges as a part of the application process. But majority of them do not ask for any such document during the application process. But once they have declared the result, now they say, submit me the document, then I will give you I20. The reason is very simple. This is government of US which has a rule saying that I20 can be issued only after a student has proved his or her financial standing. So no college will offer you I20 without a financial standing. Majority of them will ask for it post the admit. Few of them will ask pre the admit. Now I'm going to make an assumption that you have not got your financial document as yet, because in case you have got, I'm sure I would have probably guided you individually anyway. So let's look at a scenario of a student who has multiple admits and he or she still does not have the admit of the choice. So are we going to wait for the college of our choice to give the admit? Answer is no. Now we have reached a stage where we have to start processing for some I20. The some I20 might not be the I20 of your desired college. Why? Because as I said, we need one I20 for blocking the visa slot. So even if you do not have a college of your choice as yet, but you have some admit, let's go ahead and apply for the I20. Obviously, if you have the college of your own choice, then there's nothing to worry about. Anyway, we need the I20 of that college. Now, there are going to be few colleges which are going to demand for some deposit. If a college is going to demand for any deposit under $500, I'm going to strongly recommend you to spend that $500 and get the I20. $500 is not a joke. It's 40,000 bucks, a little more than that. But let me assure you, I will be able to get you all this money back. By getting the I20, you are not just going to book the visa slot early. If you do convert the visa, you're going to book the flight ticket early, and the amount of money you will save in the flight ticket is going to be more than $1 lakh. Flight ticket prices increase as we book the flight ticket later, and the saving is quite substantial if we book it earlier. And getting a visa date early will allow us to book it much earlier. So don't worry about that. But there are certain colleges, especially colleges linked to Shorelight, where the deposit is as high as $4,000. There I will say, let's not be tempted to make a compromise. Let's hold on. So in case you do have an admit, but the deposit amount required is high, please fix up an appointment with me. We will come out with a solution. I can get in touch with other colleges to find out where your applications are and how long it will take. And then we can take a call on what to do about it. Now, people who do have no call, don't worry about it. Let's wait. The results are expected to come. Once the results come, then put that in plan. People who have not applied as yet, look at this as a learning opportunity. You will be required to follow the steps probably a month from now or probably 2 months from now. But surely don't fret too much thinking that we are late. We are not late. Just that we are early. Okay, so what is this I20? I20 is a document which, as I said, will be required for you to get funding as well as visa slot. Now, for you to get the I20, you need to show to the college that you have a financial standing. So you need a letter which says that you have sufficient amount of funds equivalent to 1 year of expense, both of academics and living. Now, how much should you show will obviously differ from college to college. But one thing is clear, the amount that you need to show is an inflated figure. Inflated means it's not actually the real expense that you will incur. Now, there are two expenses that you will find mentioned in I20. One is going to be the academic fees. Academic fees is normally mentioned assuming the fact that you will take 9 credits per semester or 18 credits per year. The second expense it will be mentioned would be your living expense. Now for I20 and across the colleges, this living expense is actually inflated. Few colleges assume a living expense of as much as $1,800 to $2,000 per month. We Indians normally spend about $700 to $900 per month. But you can't argue the figure that the college wants, that government has finalized, is the figure that you need to show. So the bottom line is, whatever college that you want to go for, all right, list it down, whichever has the highest fees. Look at the I20 figure of that. If you don't know it, get to know from us, and then get a financial statement saying that you or your sponsors have that amount of money. So one document without mention of any college, so that the same document can be issued to any college that I need the I20 from. All right. Now my team would be sending across a template of that. You will notice the fact that it's very clearly, it does not mention any particular college. But the important point, just to reiterate, the quantum that you're going to mention has to be the highest of the colleges that you want to choose. The second very important element is, what if you don't have the funds? All right. Normally, the amount of funds that you need to have would be around 45 to 50 lakhs for that I20. Now, this is where you could do something. If you don't have the funds, then there are people who can give you the funds temporarily. Now, there are two mechanisms used by two different, there are two set of people who are going to be guiding you. There are going to be people who are going to say, I can issue you a fake document, which shows the fact that you have a bank account and in the bank account, you have so much amount of money. There are going to be another set of people who are going to say, look, I will give you the funds. I will drop the funds in an actual bank account, and the bank account will be in your name. You use that bank account to get that letter. From there, you can go to I20. I come in the second category. The reason is very simple. This is not an illegal method. This is an illegal method. Because here the money is right. It might not be yours, but it is there in your account. The letter is given by the actual bank. And if the embassy or the college tomorrow were to inquire from the bank, say asking whether this is an authentic letter, then the bank will say yes. But in this case, if the bank were to, if the embassy or the college were to ask the bank whether it's authentic letter, then you are screwed. Now you may have a question. What if in this scenario, once the money is given, obviously the person will take the money out. By the time the embassy or the college asks, the funds are not there. The beauty is embassies as well as the college cannot ask how much money is there in the account. They can only ask whether the document is authentic or not. So please don't play with anything that is fake. If you are blacklisted, because remember, if anything is caught, then you'll be blacklisted from flying to the US. And if you're blacklisted from one country, you cannot fly to any other country. The only country that you will enjoy yourself is Bharat. So please don't break the rules, maximize within the rules. The second point that you need to understand is the amount that you show for the admission for getting the I20 and the amount that we'll be showing for visa are not going to be the same. Why is that? Now, the reality is most of us will be funding through loan. But today for getting I20, we can't show the loan document because when we go to the bank and ask for I20, the document, they ask for the I20. When we go to the college and ask for I20, they ask for the financial document. So this is a classic case of chicken and egg. So what do? We break it by bringing the funds from elsewhere. We get the document. Once we get the document, and this is the document we are using for I20, then what we do? We take the document to the bank, get the loan sanction, and that loan sanction document along with the limited amount of your equity is what we are going to show for the visa. So the third very important thing that you need to understand, remember the financials that we are going to use for I20 may not be the same. In fact, in most of the cases, will not be the same as the financials that you need to show for your visa. Now, what should be the configuration of your finances to help you get your visa, improve your chance of visa is a very important topic, and I will be taking a separate session on that, where I will be talking about different sources of funds, including PF, gold loan, and various other things, but that is for some other day. So what is that you need to do? First, you need to fight for the I20. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the final thing that is expected as an output of this session. For you to get the I20, you need to now start the process, and that is the motivation for me to conduct this session. So to bring everything together, first point, all of you who have at least one admit. Haripriya is saying my voice is breaking. Can you please confirm? Haripriya, it might. Others, are you able to hear me properly? Can someone unmute and just say yes?
Yes,
My
sir.
voice is audible? Dilip?
Yes, sir. It's audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I'm sorry. I have switched it off. Dilip, can you confirm?
You're audible, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Haripriya, just check that you were in, sweetheart. All right. So, what is that you need to do? Anyone who has at least one admit, please see to it that you are initiating the funding process so that a week from now we can start sending it to the colleges to get the I20. Getting an I20 early will help you block the visa slot early. Blocking the visa slot early and getting the visa will help you plan early. You can start taking booking your classes in the colleges early, etc., etc. Now, there's one element which I have forgotten, another rule that you should know. Let us say I have got ASU, but my dream college is, let us say, UNBC for some reason. I block the visa slot with the I20 of ASU. But remember, my interest is in UNBC, and UNBC has still not given the result. Now I have blocked the date for May end, and it so happens that UNBC gives the result in the May first week. But I have blocked the visa slot with the ASU admit of mine. Does that mean I need to necessarily go to ASU? Answer is no. When you go for your biometric, so before you have the visa, you will have a biometric. Till that date, you can switch the I20, which means understand the whole game plan. Today is 3rd of March. I start the process. I get the I20 by 10th of February. I'm sorry. I block the visa slot. I then somehow get the visa slot done. I block the visa slot for the May end. Now, May first week, UNBC gives the result. I can switch the I20 in the visa slot. All right. So you are going to go to the college of your choice. But the only reason why I'm asking you not to wait for your dream college, UNBC here, is simply because visa slot you can book only after getting one I20, and delaying that makes no sense. So this is a rule that you need to understand. Now, there is one more very important element I want to include in this session: shortlisting of universities. This is something I want you people to understand with a degree of maturity. I love Aishwarya Roy. And let us say for some reason, after a lot of courting, Aishwarya say, yes, Abdullah. Yeah. You know what, sweetheart? Let me assure you, within 1 month, she'll bankrupt me. Not intentionally. That's the way she is. The point I'm trying to make you people understand is now you need to take big decisions. And these big decisions should also include decisions of can I or can I not? Today, I was having an interaction with a lady who had a computer science admit and also had a data science admit from another college. Now, the question was, which one? She was going on debating about college. I said, first, try to understand these are two different products. Computer science, better than data science because more options. But computer science, more dangerous than data science because much tougher. You need to be therefore realistic. Bottom line, any college you go, you need to be in the top 20% of the class. Because beyond the top 20%, majority of the people will join consultancy firms. So sometimes it's better to be in a lower college top 20 rather than the higher college bottom 20. The higher the college you go, remember, more IITians, etc. are going to come in. The tougher it is going to go. And it is not just about your brilliance, it's also about your pedigree. When you go to the US, you will realize the fact that if you're a non-IITian, you will be discriminated against. The coterie of IITians and NIITians is very, very strong. These things you have to understand. Sometimes it's better to be a king in a smaller kingdom rather than a charpas whatever in a bigger one. And that only you can take a decision. It's very easy for us to think, nay, I will go and do great, full great. Day before yesterday, I was speaking to one of the students who is in sunny Albany, a Geetham, one guy with 9-pointer. He was literally crying and telling me the fact that first semester he did not even get 3 GPA. All right, computer science. The point I'm trying to make you people understand is it's very easy to say, I will do it. You need to be realistic enough in understanding, can you do it? It's when I go to various colleges, I get many people who say, gate. Bloody, you're not even among the top 10 in the small college. How the shit are you going to be the top 100 in the whole bloody India? That realistic element has to be known. Second, be conscious of the cost. Cost is very, very important. Please don't go beyond a budget. Now, the point that you need to understand is, I don't know whether you're aware, yesterday's big positive news flowing out of the US in terms of the job market has picked up, but whatever said and done, assume the worst. So if you get 2 colleges, where one, the cost is much lower, the other cost is high, but the quality difference is little much, then please go to the lower college. I was speaking to some gentleman again this morning, now interacting with quite a few. He has an admit in ASU, Houston. In Houston, he was getting the in-state fees because he got some scholarship. So the cost difference between Houston and ASU was substantial. All right. I said, buddy, go to Houston. Isn't ASU a bigger name? Yes, but buddy, go to Houston. Because the distinction of 5 times the cost and quality compromise is not as much. So the point I'm trying to make you people understand is these are mature decisions that you need to make. When I wanted to start Condira, everyone said, you know, all of you who are a GRE coaching, you know, you have taken GRE or IELTS with me, you will realize the fact that I give you plastic stairs to sit. I don't give you a Maharaja's chair. I care a damn. My focus is not on making the outside great. My focus is in reaching the goal. And that maturity is something that you need to do. So be very careful. Choice of program, choice of college is very material. At the same time, rural colleges are strict no. Some few of you have asked me to help you apply because you have your relatives, etc. Your relatives are not experts, Sada. All right. Let me assure you they are not. Many of you are in Vizag, but you probably do not know many elements of Vizag. This is something which I'm always in touch with my students abroad. When you go abroad, you will notice the fact that I keep chatting with you people. That is how I learn. So I know this, and this is what I know. Getting the job is the only goal. Everything else is bull. All right. So please be very careful with the way you do so. Right now, the greatest thing is getting your funding document necessary for I20. Once the I20 comes, then the next step is on loan, and that is a session that I will be taking in my next week's interaction. Okay, so this is where I am. Now I'm opening this for the next 5 minutes. If you have any questions related to I20 or anything you did not understand and you want me to repeat or reiterate, please ask me. Anything else is something that we can discuss privately, because as I said, I keep chatting with you people through WhatsApp and through phones as well. But anything related to I20, if you have a doubt on funding documents, etc., let me know. I'm going to request Ms. Lakshmi, who is there, my colleague here, to see to it that all of these guys do get the template of the financial document in case it has not been sent already. I'm sure it would have been sent, but in case it's not there, please make it a point to ping it in the business channel. My team members will show you the template of the financial document that you need to have. Now, there's one more element that might come in case you do not have the funds, what to do. There are multiple agents who are there. They are there. So you can reach out to Miss Lakshmi. She could introduce you to a couple of agents and you could speak to them. Normally, they charge about 0.25% or 0.5% of the amount that has been given for, what they do is very simple. They put around 30-40 lakhs, depending on how much ever you want in your account. And then you take the bank statement. Once you have taken the bank statement, they will take the money back. All right. But obviously they do charge for that 0.25% or 0.5%. I'm not so sure. In case you do need help of that nature, please see to it that you are linking with Miss Lakshmi. Here again, there are multiple agents. I'm sure you will come across, but please be very careful with the use of the agent. That agent should not be an agent who is offering you the fake document too. Why? I talk about the incident that happened 2 years back. There was a case of a student getting caught with a fake document. The US embassy backtracked it to the agent who had issued it, and all the people who had gone through that agent were blacklisted. Unfortunately, including those who actually did not take the fake document, went through the cash route. So it's very important that you deal with every person in this cycle who are ethical, who do not suggest anything that can risk your visa. All right, that part you need to understand. All right, any queries, any understanding, any doubts that you have had, please either write it down or you may just unmute and ask. Any queries you have, sweethearts? Otherwise, we will be meeting again next Saturday or next week sometime, where I will be talking about 1 or 2 cases, and then I'll also be talking about the funding, which is something that you need to initiate after you get your I20. I'm sorry, I'm muted. So let me, even if you speak, I will not get it. I'm sorry, in case you did speak. All right, anyone, any queries, raise your hands. Lakshmi, is there anything I have missed, Rita?
Nothing, sir. Everything is covered, sir.
Okay, guys, anything else, sweethearts? Okay, thank you so much for joining. All right, I have Hari Priya. Hari, I'm sorry, I think you have had a bad issue with internet. Sir, does the difficulty level in visa interview differ from place to place? All right, I have 2 questions. Hari, before you answer, someone has asked, does the difficulty level change from place to place? Okay, it's not difficulty level, it is a visa conversion rate. It changes from place to place. But this has nothing to do with place, it's to do with the visa officer. All right. Sometime back, there was a visa officer in Mumbai, a dreaded character who would reject most of the cases. And therefore, when we got to know of that, we started I started recommending people to avoid Mumbai. What I did not know, however, was that guy got transferred to Delhi later. So Delhi was one of our favorites. And suddenly we saw this gentleman in Delhi, so we had to immediately tell people here, avoid Delhi. So the bottom line is, it is more a function of the VO. We have had fantastic results so far in Hyderabad, and that is something that I would, I'm therefore saying. But for all I know, he probably has been sent to Hyderabad. If and when I get to know of that, I'll scream and let you know. So it's nothing to do with location, it's to do specifically with VO. But so, all right, Haripriya, your question, sweetheart.
Sir, I've applied for the I20 of GMU 2 weeks before me, like that. So I haven't received the I20 yet.
They can't send to you right now. As I said, they can only legally issue it only 6 months before the start of the program, which has not happened as yet. So in spite of the fact that you have asked for I20 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back, 4 weeks back, they would have finished everything, but they can't send it to you. Law does not allow them to send it to you. But believe me, by 16th, you will bang, it will come because that is the start date of the issue of I20.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure, sweetheart. Any other questions, sweethearts? That's it. Okay, I have someone raising the hand. Please. Chinmay?
Sir?
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. So I have two universities now, like ASU and Oregon University. And if I have applied I-20 from ASU and then I want to go to another university, so will that affect something? That
No, nothing wrong in getting multiple I-20s, but I normally suggest don't get too many I-20s too, because what is I-20? I-20 is in a way your certification to tell the college that I'm interested in joining you. Okay. Now, tomorrow it should not so happen that you end up in the visa interview with 3-4 I-20s, because that means you made promises to all the colleges I'm joining. But
okay, sir.
But 2 I-20 has no problem. You can always say, look, I got this and this was my dream come college, which I got after I had got I-20. Right?
Okay.
So nothing wrong in getting 2 I-20s where you can substitute one from the other. For example, you have ASU. Let us say tomorrow you decide that Oregon is what you wish to be. So you can get the I-20 from Oregon and substitute that on the day of your biometric.
Okay, sir. I understand. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Guys, anyone else? Any questions?
Sir, I have one more doubt.
Yes, please.
When will the GMU college starts, like the exact date or month? Do you have any idea?
When I don't know, but when it did start last time, I can tell you, it started around the 19th of August, I believe.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
That is last year.
Okay, sir.
Guys, anyone else? Anything?
Sir, yes, sir. I got this news that visa slots are booked till November or something.
No, visa slots are booked till April.
Okay, sir. So I got this news, so I'm not sure, sir. Okay. So will they reopen the visa slots like any specific dates, like in April or something?
No,
so when will they open again?
See, what happens is there are two things that you need to understand. Number one, you will hear now a lot of rumors left, right, and center. Be very careful because this is going to be chaotic time. All right. Now, what you are talking about visa slots being closed till November, that is a visitor visa. Ours is F1 visa. We are not in the same slot. These are two different slots altogether. F1 visa has not opened for fall as yet. It did open for summer last month. Now we are now not fighting for summer, we are fighting for fall. There are times when embassy informs us of the start. There are times they just open up. Now this is where you need to understand now the advantage of the system that we have developed. And I'm going to be asking you, each one of you, to participate in the system too. The moment you get to know a visa slot has opened, please go ahead, book, but also tell us so that we will send the message to all of us in this community. Okay. Similarly, we get to know through this way, that way we immediately make it a point to inform, send you all a message so that you can go forward. Now, this is one aspect of it. There's one more aspect of it. Sometimes if we find the fact that, you know, the visa slots are getting too fastly filled, then we might recommend you to go for some agent to book. Now, why do we need an agent? The system forces us to, you know, fall back on the agent. What happens is, for you to know whether the visa slot is open or not, you need to log in. But the login, and you need to go on refreshing it. But what happens in the US visa booking system is, if you refresh for more than 3-4 times, it locks for 72 hours. And that is very dangerous because it's like Tatkal. Remember, we go on pressing the button, but Indian Railways is Indian, so nothing happens. But there it blocks for 72 hours, and 72 hours is a bloody luxury. But these agents have 10-20 logins, so they log in with different person, so they don't result in any of the account being blocked. And the moment they find some accounts have been opened, they call all the bloody family members and they sit and block it for everyone. But we are a little early. We don't need to go via the agent immediately. So to answer your question, don't mix the US has separate slot, dates for F1 visa, B1 visa, etc. Let's not mix that. Second thing, no. In all likeliness, we will not get an official communication. However, you will get an official communication once we know something has been opened. And one of the sources of us getting to know is going to be through you. The third thing that I'm talking about is that the visa slot early is good, because if you book the visa slot early, you can then start looking for accommodation, pay for it so that you block the best houses. You can start booking your flight tickets, save substantially in that process. And more importantly, you can also start booking your subjects. You have to register for courses. You can start doing so. So we are expecting it to open the visa slots for May to open sometime around the February 10th or February 15th. But then again, that's only an expectation. We don't know whether that will happen. Okay, Samuel.
Sir, so you must be aware of my story. Like I was supposed to travel for spring, but the slots were not available after the first week of December, which is when I got my admission. So I had to defer it to summers. So like I have got in touch with visa agent, like like you have recommended, but he said like summers also, like you said, it got opened last month, right? But nothing. I haven't seen any slots getting opened, or I haven't got any information from the agent.
Which is one of the greatest problems. What happens is these slots open and close very fast. Samuel, one of the things that you need to do is don't just depend on the agents. Agents, what they do is they don't search for the individual slots. They search for the bulk slots. Okay. Now what happens is there are going to be many slots. Students would have blocked a slot assuming that by then this will happen, that will happen. And sometimes, the funding does not get closed, etc. Then they start cancelling the slots.
Okay.
And then suddenly you will find a couple of 1 slot, 2 slot opening like that.
Okay.
So keep an eye for that as well.
Sure. Okay. So check in once in a while.
Yeah,
sure.
Please. That's right.
Okay.
But don't get perturbed. Remember, we are only in the first week of February right now. And summers is in May. But earlier times.
So,
Portland, University of Portland.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic college.
But it's not fall, like it got affected.
I'm aware of it. Yeah, because I understand we had to, last time quite a few of our students did not get the slots.
Yeah.
Because it didn't open. Any other questions, sweethearts?
Sir, for early visas,
hey guys, raise your hands and then don't make it bulk like that. Raise your hands and then. Rajiv.
Sir, so if we see the slots get open, so when we are supposed to book, in a month or in 10 days or 15 days?
As early as possible, when you know your funding documents will be ready. The biggest challenge after that is funding documents.
Okay.
So, so what is the rule for funding document? If you are going for any of the nationalized banks are slow. They will take at least 3 weeks. If you are going for any of the private banks, ICICI, etc., they will take 2 weeks. If you are going for Prodigy Finance, etc., then it will take 1 week. Everything else is in your hand, can be managed. So, but this is not in your hand. So you need to therefore give at least that minimum amount of days from the date you're booking it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Jayachandra?
Yes, sir. Sir, could you please repeat the new rule which is implemented for the visa process?
352. 352.
Yeah, sir.
The new rule says that if your visa is rejected on a given day, you cannot book a visa slot for the next 352 days.
Okay, sir. Yeah, sir.
That means 1 year is screwed up. Gone.
Oh, okay, sir.
Just pity, but that's the way it is. I have Dilip, sweetheart.
So once if we get the I20 documents and our loan documents get ready, we can book the slot, right?
No, don't wait for your loan document to get ready, sweetheart. I20 comes in, book the slot, giving enough time for the loan document to get ready.
Okay, sir. So
like I said, the nationalized banks will normally take 3 weeks. So book as if it's a 4 week, it will take 4 weeks and then block the date.
Okay, sir. So when might be the interview, sir, once if we book the slot?
You are booking the slot the same day, whichever day you're booking the slot, the interview is there.
Okay. So within
the
time.
You have to choose the date of the interview.
Okay. And you will let us know what documents should we carry for the visa interview.
Of course. I'm going to be bloody not just letting you know. I'll be making you guys do that. I'll be practicing. I'll be checking all the documents.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah. Manmali? Mannam, like.
Hello, sir. And what about this, sir? Like when?
Sorry?
So when can we expect to be able to book the slots so that I can get my financials ready by then?
No, sweetheart. That's what I'm saying. Visa slots normally open for the student F1 visa a bit earlier. Okay. For example, for last fall, it opened around February. For spring, it opened as early as August. The trend for the last two cycle has been it has not opened towards the end. Okay. That is a bulk slot.
Okay.
Individual slots have opened, bulk slots have not. The reason why I'm having this meeting right now is because we have reached a stage where last year it had opened towards the end of February. So I wanted you to have all the documents ready for end of, somewhere in the later half of February.
So we can start amassing all the documents right now, sir?
Yeah, of course you should.
Like I only have one admit, and that's from JMU. JMU is not my
no, block your
college.
I20. Block your I20 for March,
okay.
for May. Then you have all
sir,
the time for
to
getting.
take the I20, do I need to pay the deposit, sir?
Is JMU asking for a deposit?
Yes, sir. They sent me a deposit, like $300.
Then pay the 300.
Okay.
Don't be penny wise pound foolish. We'll save the amount in the flight ticket.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. That's it, guys. Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you guys again. You will be getting an indication of when I'm doing the next session. The next session will talk about the loan process. What are the various options you have? What funding can be raised? Meanwhile, you have any doubts, don't hesitate pinging me up. Remember again, Visa is the god of everything. The visa officer is going to be the god of everything. We need to be ready and don't take any risk. Especially, I'm again repeating, people who have not got the results, don't get perturbed, start applying for colleges. Don't do that. All right. Because once the visa is rejected, it's a big screw up. So please make it a point. You have any fears, discuss with me. I'm good at what I do. Do make it a point to ping in the WhatsApp, and we will come out with a solution what to do. But that solution will be a thought of solution, not a random solution. That we need to bear in mind. Guys, thank you so much and good night and have a good weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sweethearts.